going to start with roll call. Commissioner Yower.
Here.
Commissioner Rosales.
Here.
Judge Shaw here. Commissioner Schindel.
Here.
Commissioner
Here.
Hummel. Carol Sweezy with the County Clerk's Office.
Here.
Please stand and join us in opening prayer and stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Heavenly Father, we ask your guidance to make the best decisions for Karnes County today. We ask that you be with our troops wherever they may be, and we ask that you be with us through all the construction and through all the traffic that we have on our highways. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just going to ask real quick if we can flip to 14, 15, and 16, which are Lorraine Daly. If there are no citizens to be, first of all, are there any citizens that want to talk about that?
Not about that.
Does anybody want to talk about anything on Daly and Spears on 14, 15, and 16? No? Okay, can we skip to those and do those really quick so we can get her to a meeting over at the courthouse? Come on, Lorraine.
Thank you. Okay, so for item 14, I have a handout I would like to review.
Lorraine, do you have originals?
I have the originals with me, yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so the first item that I have is to approve change order number 5 in the amount of $21,769.14 and 55 days for the delayed start of construction at the courthouse restoration phase 1 project. What I did is when I came on board a while back, I gathered documentation on what had transpired in the past. And then I've been working with the contractor since then on trying to resolve anything that was outstanding and not resolved when I came on board. I prepared a contract timeline based on the documents that I had received in my files. The courthouse restoration phase 1 project was bid on October 14th, 2010. And the contract date for construction was signed and dated November 8, 2010. Then there was an abatement notice to proceed that was within 5 days. And then a second notice to proceed was supposed to be anticipated in accordance with the specifications on February 15, 2011. The actual notice to proceed, because of things that were outside of your control, moving into the annex, etc., was November 18th, 2011. So there was a delay of a number of months, not just a month or two. When the contractor realized things were going to be delayed, they submitted a claim for delayed start. And there's 3 claims that actually were submitted. The last claim was submitted November 18, 2011, at which time the contractor asked for $25,153.88 and 66 days. Prior to that date, he had submitted 2 other claims based on potential anticipated notice to proceed of April 5th, 2011 and May 31st, 2011. So each time he submitted his claims, you'll see that the cost went up on his proposed delay. The final claim and proposed settlement was his revised change request number 4R, dated November 18th, 2011, where he submitted a delay of $25,153.88, and he dropped his days from 66 days to 55 days. So that's the document that I had in my files, which was the latest proposed settlement that he had or claim that he had. What I did is I worked with Mr. Boyle to try to come up with a more acceptable amount to the court. There were a lot of things that were out of your control. However, his bid documents and his contract and all of his documentation showed that he was supposed to be able to move forward in February 15th. and he had prior submittals for claims documenting that the delay was a proposed claim for him. What we've worked out is a settlement of $21,000. I had on here 788, but it actually went down to 769 because some of the numbers are insurance based on percentages. So the proposed settlement went from the $25,153 to $21,769.14, and then the 55 days delayed start. Additionally, and what that amounts to is Mr. Boyle says, I won't ask for any overhead and profit on top of the actual delays. So the actual delays are listed out as the $21,769, and then normally he has a overhead and profit on top of anything that gets added to a change order, and he's taken that off to get down from the $25,000 to the $21,000. Additionally, he's voiding out claim request number 18, which is for $2,733.12, which is the cost for geotech services and testing for work that was done at the basement area. The documents called for that to be done. It wasn't real clear whether the owner or contractor had to pay for it. 99.9% of the time, documents or the contractor pays for it, so the contractor did not include it in his bid. Mr. Fisher said it was his intent for the contractor to, or excuse me, for the owner to pay for that. So the claim of $2,733 for testing was going to be a change order to the project, but he's willing to void that out if we can finalize this delay claim. Additionally, if you go to the second page of what I handed you, I did a chart that shows the actual claim at $25,000 less the contractor's overhead and fee gets the claim down to $21,000. Then there's a split, a 1/3 for Karnes and a 2/3 for the Texas Historical Commission. So I just kind of split out the actual cost to you out of your pocket of this. Of course, all of it goes to your courthouse restoration, but the grant funds will pay for 2/3 of that $21,000. So they're paying for $14,500, and Karnes is actually paying the $7,200 out of your, your funds. Then I did a chart of additional savings that we were able to negotiate with Mr. Boyle. The credit for the testing adds up to $2,733. We also were able to resolve the geotech issue where the owner did have a requirement to hire a separate geotechnical engineer to do some analysis of the basement. We were able to work that out with the information that we gathered from the field reports, the documents, as well as what the testing did on that $2,700 testing, resolved that geotech claim. So that's a potential savings of up to $3,000. And then the other thing that we've been working with the Texas Historical Commission on is, I know at the beginning when you hired Daily Spear as your owner's rep, they said they were not willing to do the savings split on that. It wasn't an eligible expense. And when Ms. Fleming and I were talking, she said that it's been very beneficial to have us on board and they recognize the value to the project. And so I asked her, well then, why would you not consider paying, 2/3 of these services since they're beneficial to the project? And she said that they would go back and reconsider it. It doesn't mean they're going to pay it, but she said she would resubmit it for additional consideration after we've been on board. That could amount to, if they pay 2/3 of our fee, that could amount to over $6,000 worth of savings. So your potential savings that you have here is $12,000, out of pocket $7,000. This is the very best deal that I could work out with Mr. Boyle and get this resolved and move forward. The third page that you have here is a recap of your project contingency. There's two contingencies on the project. One is a construction contingency, and that's the one that has been drawing down. It's around $11,000 now whenever you approve the change orders that we've approved in the past. Your project contingency is right at $100,000. In accordance with documents that we received dated 3/23/10, there was a per source of funds recap that was done by the Historical Commission and Mr. Fisher, and it showed a total grant project cost of $926,829, construction contract anticipated of $780,780, and then professional fees for Mr. Fisher, your architect, is $53,289, and a project contingency of $92,760. The difference between the first chart and second chart, you'll see the actual construction contract, instead of being 780 was 772,000. So that gives you a project contingency of 101,540, and then you have approved that paid analysis for $1,620. So you have a balance in your project contingency of 99,920, and that's where I would propose that you pay for this 21,769 14-cent claim. And then the last thing that I put together for you is the bid tabulation form from when the bids were actually received, just so that you could see if you had rebid the project, if Mr. Boyle did not go forward with the project and you rebid it, he already was lower than the lowest bidder by $37,000. And then there's, in the competitive market, I can't tell you exactly what would have happened, but if you had rebid it, chances are fuel costs had gone up. Chances are your cost would have gone up. And since he was already low by $37,000, there's a good chance that you still ended up with the best price. And then that's it. The other documentation back there is just the $2,700 claim that he's willing to, Boyle's willing to void out if we can get his delay settled. Any questions?
Sounds fair to me.
I think that was a very thorough report, and thank you for the work you've done on it. I think we can settle for this and move on and be the best thing to do. Therefore, I make a motion that we accept this and pay Mr. Boyle $21,000. I don't know what I'm making a motion here. 14. Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve change order number 5 in the amount of $21,769.14. Add 55 days for delayed start construction restoration phase 1 project.
I second that motion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No opposition. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Number 15, review potential savings and critical dates. It says if eliminate slight work and finishes from the Karnes County Courthouse Phase 1 project to be able to use the savings towards foundation repairs. Do you have any paper left?
Okay. So phase 1 of your project on the courthouse restoration did not include foundation repairs, which appear to be very critical and necessary for your project. It did include some finishes and exterior site work to allow you to move back into the courthouse. So as we look at what finishes are there and we look at what work needs to be done, if you're going to move back into the courthouse, then we need to do these things. And if you're not going to move back into the courthouse, but instead you're going to go ahead and move forward with foundation repairs, all of these items would just be torn back out and damaged again. So the total estimated, and these are budget numbers, depending on what date we tell the contractor to stop, they'll be adjusted a little bit, but there's a potential savings of about $27,000 that could go towards your foundation repairs. So what these are is it's carpet, plaster, interior plaster on the west wall that was that was refurbished and reconstructed and restored, and some ceramic tiles. So it's on the interior, it's minor amounts. Plaster's your largest one, and then exterior, there's $17,000 in grading, sodding, sidewalks, and handrails that will have to be redone again after the foundation repair. So additionally, there's a potential add for a ramp at the front door, because your front door, to restore it back to its historical elevation, is about 2.5 inches lower than where it is right now. There was a topping that was poured in that 1920s addition. So there's a change order on the table right now that is in the neighborhood of about $8,000 to to chip out the floor, and then if you're going to have your new front door at the right elevation, then you have to ramp up for handicap standards to get up to the 2-inch higher elevation temporarily until you restore the whole building, at which time that ramp will be torn out and all the topping will be taken out, and you'll restore the whole building back to its original elevation. So what I wanted to do is just bring to the attention of the court, you know, if you add that $8,000 in, now you're getting up to, you know, close to $35,000 to $40,000 that could go towards your foundation repairs instead of doing finishes that would be needless if you're not moving back in. The biggest concern is just critical dates here, because the contractor's moving forward and he can't stop work until, you know, he's officially told by the owner to go ahead and stop on these finished items. The dates that he has to have notice on these items are as follows. On the interior plaster, he needs to know by June the 19th, which is coming up pretty quickly. The interior plaster is between $5,000 and $6,000. The rest of these items, he said mid-July, and he just sent me an email either late yesterday or this morning that July 13th is that date. So we need to know by July 13th on everything else, but on the interior plaster we need to know by June the 19th whether or not we need to continue to move forward, you know, with the interior plaster. It's the west wall of the west wall of the entire building that they're replastering the inside, and with the exception of the lobby, they were doing even unfinished rooms and finished rooms. So even if we don't take it out of the project completely, I had told the contractor it would be better if we walk that building, and if you're going to reoccupy, let's do interior plaster in the areas that are going to be finished and not put interior plaster redone on the west wall when you have no ceiling and you don't have any floor finish in those rooms that are scheduled to be unfinished. It seems silly to spend the money on plastering those rooms. Let's put it where it'll benefit you. So that's one reason he needs to know by June 19th, because we still need to walk through and coordinate where that plaster is going to go if you're going to go ahead and plaster the walls.
So, okay, Lorraine, if you're saying that we could use some of that money from the savings to go towards the foundational issues that we might be looking for, and just kind of turn it around?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They need to know that by the 19th.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Lorraine, I know in the past THC has said it is part of the agreement that we would reoccupy the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Are they okay with doing this and not reoccupying it because of the foundation issues?
As long as work is going on.
Okay.
You're 100% correct. If you just don't reoccupy and you do nothing, then they're going to say you have to, it's part of the grant program. But if you're going to do the foundation repairs, that'll be another construction project that will carry you through, and then you'll have to figure out, you know, when the next grant comes through, if you don't get that, then we'll have to figure out what do you do then.
Okay.
But this foundation project would carry you through, and you'd still be compliant.
Okay.
And the Historical Commission actually would like to see these finishes not go in and that the money go towards the foundation based on, I don't want to speak for them, but based on meetings we've had, they have indicated agreement with that.
Okay. So all we need to do is word this where we can take action on it. And they need that, see, June 19th is a week from today. So we need to go ahead and get an agenda out sometime today if we want to do it by Friday, or, so I just need my 72 hours for posting. That's what I'm asking you. So would you
Give you wording to,
will you give me something before, if you can get it done before you leave today, we can maybe do it by Friday if that's possible. And if I can't get it typed by today, because I'll be with you this afternoon on the other part of the courthouse deal, then we'll have to do it Monday morning.
okay?
And we'll just have to let the guys know when we're doing the meeting.
Yes.
Because I'm in training next week, I won't be here.
I'll sit down and write
Are you
up
going
wording
to?
today.
Are you going to be in San Antonio? Are you three
No.
guys going to be here? Are y'all going to be here?
We'll be around.
I need 3 shake heads. Somebody going to be here? Somebody going to be in Karnes County?
We'll be here.
Okay.
Well, I don't foresee anyone moving back into it until it's further down the line.
But see, the way it's worded, we can't make a decision.
I know we can't.
But if she'll get something to me today, I'll try to get it posted, even if we have to stay a little late, maybe Friday, or do something. I know y'all love to hear that, or y'all rather do it Monday. Just whatever time we can get it all.
And if the court appears to be, I mean, if we don't have any opposition, I could also talk to Mr. Boyle and ask him you know, it appears that this is the direction we're going to going. Can you push that plaster date? Because that's the one that's hurting us. So,
We'll get it on there as quick as possible. You
Okay.
get it to me and we'll get it on there.
I'll do that.
So number 15 would be no action, discussion only. Number 16 is to discuss, approve, disapprove Daily Secure Architects to order the site survey for the Karnes County Jail Project, east end of Wall Street, Karnes City, Karnes County, Texas. Do we have the money in the budget, Luana, to order the site survey?
No.
Huh?
No.
No?
Okay, what is the $60,000 for? That's for planning, 61, 65,000.
Let me pull my budget. We have the jail site purchase price, and we have cleanup jail site costs in the budget.
So would we
The
have?
cleanup is 25,000, and the jail site's the actual cost of the location. Then we have architectural fees for the jail in here also.
Architectural and what, excuse me?
For the jail,
Oh, okay.
And what is that amount?
for the architect, 63.
63. Could it be spent out of that for the,
As long as Lorraine doesn't bill us for over the total before the end of the year.
Okay. That's by September 30th.
30th.
Just letting you know.
End of the year is September 30th?
Yes, ours is
Okay.
September 30th.
Well, we have to have a survey to get started. We can't,
she
you know,
can't do anything to
we can't move forward farther than we've gone without the survay.
So the site can come
So-
out of your her architectural fees?
Yeah, we can do that in order to get it going, because otherwise I can't bill you anyway more because I need the survey. We've done everything that we can so far without having that survey so that we can make sure everything works with our site.
Alrighty.
Talking about just the meets and bounds.
Meets and bounds, topographic, utilities, et cetera. I anticipate it coming in at $5,000. That's where I think we'll be. So all existing structures will be located, et cetera. It's a pretty extensive list, but it makes sure that we have all the information we need for to evaluate the site and get the proper placement of your building.
Does any of that incorporate a phase 1 or phase 2 environmental study?
It does not. That's the next step that I'm working on. I want to get the survey, and then I've reviewed that TECQ document, and I'm going to need to get clearance from them, because they cleared the site based on the fact that it's next to a park, et cetera, but we do need to get clearance that it's, the building's going on that site. But they did the cleanup, and, we should be good, but that's the next step, is to get this survey and then work on that.
I make a motion we approve the Daly Spears Architects to order the site survey for the Karnes County Jail Project, east end of Wall Street, Karnes City, Texas, Karnes County, Texas. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposition? No opposition, motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Lorraine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. You want your number? Okay.
Okay.
James needs to leave for a funeral, so I'd like to go ahead and move to his item, which is going to be number 22. It's going to be discuss, approve, disapprove a letter of support from Karnes County Commissioner support regarding conducting a hearing for our citizens of the implementation of oil and gas waste injection, the Eagleville Field and Helena Highway 80 saltwater disposal lease well number 1, Karnes County District 2.
Good morning, thank you, Judge and Commissioners. We're already a little further along, excuse me, in this particular injection well than, for instance, the excuse me, the Moy well that y'all had discussed prior. We already have a hearing scheduled with the Railroad Commission. What we would like to suggest to the court is considering this location, which, as you can see on the map, is on the southwest corner of Highway 81 and Highway 80, which has a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. If there's some way that the county in the future can, consider public safety in the location of these wells, They are, I guess, a necessary evil as part of our oil and gas boom that we're enjoying here. We need them. We need to have injection wells. But since Karnes County is not exactly mountainous or a bunch of curvy roads, there are a lot of straight roads and open fields that these places can be located. Talking with Mrs. Yarder, the county can't really lobby the Railroad Commission to say, please don't do this. However, I believe Sheriff Jalufka is also concerned about public safety at this intersection, as the residents in the town of Helena are. If there would be some way that the county can approach companies when they place these wells in various places, like the one that's going to be out here by the Moys, the Railroad Commission will consider the technicals of an injection well. Will it affect production? Is the stuff going to shoot out of the ground a half a mile away? Things like that. The Supreme Court has given them grace that they don't have to consider public safety. That concern has to come from somewhere else. Since we're not incorporated in Helena like the city of Karnes City is or something, it kind of falls under either y'all or TxDOT. TxDOT has a guidebook that says as long as you are X feet from X and Y and things like that, it's technically okay. But however, we all know common sense also has to step in somewhere. So I guess and I know Mary wants to express her concerns as well, and I'll invite her up there as well. But so we have a hearing already scheduled with the Railroad Commission on the 29th. I know James has been out there and seen it. He knows it's not a good place to have an injection well. They're permitted for up to 100 trucks a day, which is about one truck every 15 minutes.
Carol, did I skip somebody? I didn't mean to interrupt you. Did I skip anybody? Citizens to be heard?
No, it was just
Okay.
Mr. Mankey.
I just wanted to make sure, if somebody else might have had to say something I didn't know, and I was like, okay, make sure.
And so Mary, if you want to come up and add yours while I'm going here, or if you have questions for me on
How many trucks are going to be rented with it?
well, they're permitted. The permit that they filed with the Railroad Commission is for 20,000 barrels. And if you do the math on that, that's 100 trucks a day. That's in a 24-hour period.
15 to 20,000 barrels, 100 to 150 trucks for that one facility. We have another facility that just is being built down the road 1.6 miles between Helena and Santa Maria. It is by Green Hunter Water. And they, of course, have a bigger area. There's 6 acres. Where this facility across from us is 2.55 acres. They will have 50 to 75 trucks a day. So added to the other one that is being proposed, you're talking about almost 200 trucks a day that will be. Also, just for your information, if you look at the little plot that, the map, the little black dot on the corner of the red,
The northwest corner.
northwest corner, I am 120 feet from that black dot on the other side of the road. That's where our patio cover for our business is. So, you know, it's right in my front yard, basically, which I have a real concern with. As Cleta said, the traffic is already bad. We've had several accidents. I think Mr. Baker's been out there filming some of them that we've had in the last few months. I think the other thing, too, is from a pollution standpoint. The dust, the noise, whatever kind of fumes or contaminants are going to be released by this proposed facility, I think is a concern, not so much for myself as the other people around us, because there are other citizens living close by across from this proposed site. So I think we would ask for the court to support us in this and doing whatever we can to scrutinize some of these facilities as they come into our county and take appropriate action and making sure that, you know, they have to exist, but there's locations for them where they can do so in a more safe manner. Thank you.
We did prepare a letter, if you want us to read it, let you know what it says. Ms. Yarder did address the traffic concern.
Okay.
She did address it in there.
Okay.
Just so it would be brought to the attention of the Railroad Commission that you guys do have that concern.
Right.
Let y'all know. It's addressed to Barry Smitherman. He's the chairman of the Railroad Commission of the Underground Injection Control. It says the Karnes County's Commissioner's Court of Karnes County, Texas, has been aware that Coyote Water Systems LLC has an application pending before the Texas Railroad Commission seeking to establish a saltwater disposal well in our county. The County Commissioner's Court did not receive formal notice of the application. The county has concerns regarding the safety of our citizens, including the increase in heavy truck traffic in proximity of the well site to homes and other businesses in the immediate area. For the reasons stated above, we appreciate the Texas Railroad Commission conducting a hearing where the Karnes County citizens are allowed to protest the drilling of this well. But she did bring up the safety issue as best as she could to
Right.
let them know that we know it's there.
And I think the statistics are they only approve only 78% of the permits. So there's still that 22% chance. But we also know they're also politicians. And so we appreciate the support from the Commissioner's Court. They're all up for election this time around. And so, you know, maybe they will consider that on this particular instance. Because with a rural county like we have, again, I understand the need for saltwater wells. This is just not a good place for them. And so we appreciate your support. I hadn't seen that letter, but that is exactly what we were hoping for, so really appreciate that.
And well, if it's approved, we'll sign it. We'll hand you a copy now.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? No, I gotta give Carol a copy, and we'll mail the original, and I'll make you a copy of the original email. How's
That'll be
that?
fine, and I'll just come pick it up.
Okay.
Something like that. So James, I appreciate you. Thank y'all. for your
One more
time.
point, if
Yes,
anybody
ma'am.
wants to go to the hearing on June 29th in Austin, there's a form we have to fill out, and you have to have it there 5 days before. And if you're interested, just let me know, I've got copies.
And this is
Thank
going to
you.
be an additional 150 trucks going through that intersection, additional 150 trucks. One of my biggest concerns right now in that area, I get a lot of calls for school buses. And I try to, you know, I've got two areas, I got Fall City and I got Runge, which my deputies out there, we're in districts now, and I'm putting people up there working schools, district here and there in the mornings, which we don't have now. But that's my big issues, 'cause I get a lot of calls from 80 and 81 trucks passing, school buses when they got the stuff out. So that's another concern we got right there. Okay?
Make a motion for the letter of support.
A second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposition? No opposition, motion carries 5-0. Hold on, guys, we got two originals that I need y'all to sign. And if you sign us both, so Carol can have an original, and we can send an original to the Railroad Commission. So, sign. Sign this original. Flip on another 2 pages.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to excuse myself after this. I'm a pallbearer at the funeral here in a few minutes. I just tried to stay long. Excuse me, I got a sore throat. I just tried to stay as long as I could. I'm going to ask Commissioner's Court something right now on item number 19. It's discuss, approve, disapprove, replacing. No, I'm sorry, I got mixed up. Number 9. There was a 9 in there. Discussion and possible action regarding the Roaring Bridge Administrator and personnel, Arthur Judge Shaw. I was going to ask Commissioner's Court. I would like to be here for that decision, for that conversation, for everything that's regarding that. This is going to take me maybe till lunch, 1 o'clock. I want to see maybe we could recess that item, even if the rest is done. So maybe like 1:30, so I could come back and attend it. If not, I understand. But I wanted to at least state that.
I don't have a problem with that.
You know what I mean?
The only issue that we're gonna have is, can we do it at 3? We have Associated Press coming down to the courthouse at 2.
3's fine for me.
Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
So after we get through, we will recess for that item to come back at 3.
Okay.
Got it?
I'll leave this here.
Surely you may. Nobody's gonna be back. Nobody's gonna come in this hot room to take your stuff.
Sorry.
All right, James, be careful. Okay. Number 5 on the agenda is citizens to be heard.
It was just Mr. Bianchi and Ms. Lozano, and that's what they were talking about, so I guess they're...
Number 6 is going to be reading of minutes. You know, Carol, I need something too. I'll talk to you about that. I need something for the A-plan, on that medication plan.
business.
Yes, take one off and keep it.
Protect the innocent. We're not so.
Okay, let me read that. Item, we'll be back. Okay, number 7, Peter, do you have time? Okay. Number 7 is to review and or approve Commissioners Court minutes for the month of May 2012. That'd be the 8th, the 22nd, the 30th, and 31st. Tracy made a motion, right?
Yes.
Carl seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposition? No opposition. Motion carries 4-0. Number 8 is to discuss, approve, disapprove Amendment P 00007, modifying the billing period to allow for a partial month, May 19th, 2012 through May 31st, 2012, and thereafter billing on a monthly 1st through 30th basis, and allow me to execute if approved. What that is this is one of these that we sign all the time for ACOG, and their billing cycle, they were going date to date. Now they want to go from the first of the month to the end of the month. That's all that they're asking is to change the billing cycle. We are the pass-through people who do a lot of free work.
This is for the GEO contracts.
I'll make a motion to amend P 00007, modifying the billing period to allow the partial month May 19th, 2012 through May 31st, 2012, and thereafter billing of monthly 1 through the 30th. Basis to allow the Judge Shaw execute as approved.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposition? No opposition. Motion carries 4-0. Change the numbers here. Okay, number 10, certification of additional revenues received from ACOG, $7,001.95, received April 16th, 2012. Receipt number $36,160, author Luana Casprick. She certified those funds, is what she's letting us know. Number 11 is amend the budget for Special Project 911, addressing for supplies, equipment, the amount of $7,001.95. The requested equipment option includes a color printer and or copier. The approximate cost is $1,959 to $5,000. The vinyl cutter is an approximate cost of $3,291 to $3,806. And a laminator at the approximate cost of $1,399, and that's the author again is Luana. She did that for Sharon. That is spending that ACOG money back on 911, correct?
Correct.
And so those are not action items. She's just letting us know that it's all been done for the. All right. Is Miss Stayer here or Steyer? There's a little thing in the package for her. Y'all look at this. June 5th, 2012. It's stapled together. It says request to place these to your agenda. And the first one says, discussion and possible action requesting county assistance to clear undesirable trees and brush in the city of Hobson. Street once referred to as 5th Street in the city of Hobson, and frequent requests to repair the north end County Road 208 through County Road 217 off of Highway 181 West. Due to lack of proper care for almost 100 years, there are an abundance of overgrown weeds, several dead trees, clogged drainage pipe, lack of road grading, and access to the public road that is supposed to run through this property is completely blocked. And the author is Olivia Steyer.
Mr. Gallick is here from Hobson, maybe.
How are you, Mr. Gavlik?
I found out about this basically last night about 10 o'clock. And the so Fifth Street is right between my block 22 to 25. And Pete Dower and I talked about this in the past, that there's a road that goes right behind the Mike Vogel or Lucy Jalloway's that would go straight across and hit one stop sign onto 181. What they're proposing to do is go through 25, 22, then block 21, and then down to this lady, it's Joe Ketzley's, or Eddie Metcalf's daughter.
Yes.
They're going to open it up. You're going to have 3 stop signs. So you're going to have 300 tractor trailers, what Pete said, basically on a hallway coming through. So they're going to stop 3 times in Hobson down this 5th Street. And 5th Street is, like I say, right down the old cemetery, straight on down. And I can't say going to be here today, so I'm here just to bring my part, is that that's a lot of tractor trailers coming through Hobson. Where they could just take
a little bit different. It's a little bit different what he's talking about. They're possibly going to put a well in the backside of Hobson, and the oil company's talking about coming down this 5th Street and have access from right off of 81. And that goes right behind his house. Olivia has asked us to give her that street closed, but the surveys are not certified in Hobson, and we can't take action on this today because we have to have a survey that shows us exactly what it is. And she states in her letter that the street, Forest Street is listed on here, is closed. We have to find certification somewhere that that is closed street. There's a lot of things that have to be done before we can actually take action on this. We have to have some kind of official. Y'all remember when Wayne Team came in here and got a road closed? He had all the surveys and everything done. That's what should be properly done. I've spent about 12 hours trying to research something in Western Florida County that was done in the 70s, 80s, not surveyed, not documented properly in the courthouse, in commercial court minutes. So I don't want to take any action on something that's not proper. We have to go through something like that and go through there. So we can't take action on this today without further verification and survey.
I agree with that too, but County Road 208, 217 are not the roads that are on 5th. County Road 81, if you look at there's a map of Karnes City, I think that's wrong on Country Road 208, 217.
I only know what she gave me.
I don't think she has right numbers on it. Right.
That's out to the Cemetery Road, Hobson Cemetery Road. And by inviting me, I didn't think I was going to be talking about this, but I would like to close down. I maintain basically Dewey Street, which I'll leave these just copies here. Dewey Street and the county roads, I usually maintain most of that as a rule of thumb. And even the potholes around Hobson, everybody knows that we have. And her wanted to close down the county road from 5th Street. I'd like to close down between 25 and 22. There is a road, and I have pictures here.
Share them with us, Mr. Gavin. Come over here, Pete. Wish you know Pete is.
Let's look it up from way one to that pink. That pink right there. Right. This pink.
Mr. Gavin paid for a survey at these.
Yeah, this is just that. And the reason why I was going to do this before that was something back in my garage, and I did a survey and that pink, this county road is 60 feet, or actually on my side of the property. This pink one here is this one right here. And this is Ranch Creations. that marker is basically right here. And I can
So this fenced-in portion is ranch creations right here. That's
Ranch, you know, this ranch creation is a picture, but this piece right here, where I own the property, is this piece right here. You come up this road, it's right here, that's where the service is at. I actually own property of that land. I just hope the system is that way. Behind here is, so this proposal running through all the way into 81. You have a stop, actually, you stop right here, stop right here, stop right here, stop right here, split at 81. 81 or something. Yes. So I'm saying if they can go right here, that's, I own these streets, 25, 22. This is ratification, so that's what we want to do.
okay.
All your topics are these how you rate.
I guess what we have to figure out, if you're asking something else be done.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
No, and I understand that.
All district.
We'll have to figure out something to put on the agenda for you. Okay, but you're gonna have to help me figure that out, because I do accept the agenda items, but if I don't know what's there, I'll have a hard time writing.
I don't know why I invited, I thought.
She got you some.
I got you covered, yeah, I got you in there.
She got you
But
covered.
I figured that she'd be here to represent something of this, do you?
Yeah, she didn't know. She did not show up. And, you know, I
She
don't know.
doesn't live here either, Barbara.
No, and I don't think so. I was getting ready to say, I think
Yeah.
she's from out of town, just the way she talked to me.
It's her sister that lives out there.
Yeah, or Teresa.
Okay.
And I didn't know this would happen to Bobby, done it like last night.
Okay. And I didn't, and I'll let her know what she needs to do to get this back on the agenda and get it on there properly. You know, when she gave me her agenda request, and don't leave all that with me. Don't trust me with your pictures, because I'll put them in one of these envelopes and then we'll dig for them. Okay.
Thanks, Wes. Yeah.
All right.
My desk.
You're going to call her, you're going to send her an email.
I have her email. She emailed me. We can email her. Just wait, so you can help me email her. Okay. Okay. So number 12, we can't take any action, you're saying, right? Number 13 is going to be discussion and possible action proposing the county take steps to grant legal ownership of the street once referred to as Fifth Street in the city of Hobson, north end County Road 208 through County Road 217 off of Highway 81 West to Olivia Stayer at no cost so she can properly maintain the property. And what this is when I say this just as a knowledge base for everybody, when you're bringing this in and asking us to do this, we don't do that for you. We don't have the staff to do that for you. I don't have the expertise to figure out where these roads need to be. We'll put it on the agenda for you, and we'll put on there exactly what you ask. But we can't overstep our bounds by trying, and I would be majorly overstepping my bounds because I'm not a lawyer, I don't do legal descriptions, I don't do any of that stuff. So if you're wanting something like this done, you have to research it yourself. We don't have staff that does that type of research. And am I correct there, Ms. Yarder? That that's not something that we can go out and research for you? Because it can take tons of hours of research, like what Mr. Foster did, or what Mr. Gavlick's talking about, or what Pete's. That is very time consuming, and we just don't, you know, we don't have the time to actually be able to do something like that. So just for future reference, please understand that we need that to be able to either actually take action on something. We have to have that in there. We won't go do it for you. Not because we don't want
Explain that to her in that email.
Yes, ma'am.
She's my brother Johnny's aunt-in-law, I guess. She's Vivian's aunt, right? Keith
Okay.
Joe Keith sister or sister of Florence. I get confused. That's why I'm popping in.
Florence's sister?
Yes, Florence is.
Yes, so that's why I know.
All right. Well, and we'll explain to her that we need that. And I know that she's saying at no cost so she can maintain the property. And if we had the staff, we'd be more than willing to do stuff like that. But we just don't have that type of staff. We don't have research assistants or legal assistants. That's right. No action on number 13.
Number 7.
Okay, is to
We're next to 17.
now, James wanted to pass Jeff's items till he got back. Did he want to pass these two, or do you want to do
He
them?
just said that one. That's what he said.
No, we
Okay. Number 17 is to discuss, approve, disapprove, I can't get it out. Disapprove the purchase of a new mechanic truck.
The reason I'm here asking for a truck, we're short-handed on trucks. I took the truck that we're having problems with, we couldn't get it get started. So I took it over to the Ford dealership in Nixon, Caraway, and they had it there for about 2 weeks, and they called me back and told me we have to replace the motor. The motor's shot in the truck. They gave me a bill of a long block of $8,900 on a truck that's worth $500–600, if I guess.
I gave you an estimate.
That was the estimate.
That was an estimate.
That was the estimate. And I don't believe we need to put that kind of money in that truck. We're shorthanded on trucks because the trucks we have are down. Tracy's seen one of my guys get on a big, seen one of my guys get on a big truck to go check something out. And that, it's getting pretty sad over there in our department.
Is this gonna be a one-ton dually, this?
Yes, I'd like to, and I'm just asking for permission to go out and look for one. If y'all decide to let me buy one, I'm just asking. I don't know the price of these trucks. I just want to go out and look. We may be able to find a used truck somewhere, or, you know, or let us get a new one with a mechanic's bed on it, or we can put all our tools in there. When we go out, we got everything with us. We have this, all this equipment is on a 3/4 ton pickup. The tools, welding machine, cutting torch, air compressor. The truck had a load on it.
You might consider a 2-ton, or what did you say, 1 3/4 or something?
Well, I called down to Mr. Whitty yesterday. You can't buy one of those locally. You have to go to a big truck station.
Right.
Regular auto dealers they won't allow them to sell a 1.25 tons, a half, you know, a big one. All they can go as high as a 1-ton truck. And
That's another franchise.
and I asked him what one of those like that would cost, and he said, well, he had one at Dooley, 1 ton, that would be about $35,000, and then about $5,000 for the bed. So looking at about $40,000.
Tracy, we can go to state bid, we can go to Philpott, we can go to Caldwell Country where I get my Yukons, that's a Chevrolet dealership, or we can go to Philpott, which is a state bid, that's a Ford dealership. They sell this every day for TxDOT.
Okay.
And anything that TxDOT can get, guess what? Karnes County can get it. We don't have to look at nobody's used junk at 80,000 miles,
Right.
you know, broke down on the side of the road. Let's go ahead and
We need
catch up.
something brand
That's
new.
it. I was gonna ask you for the phone
Yeah,
number.
we got, I got, hold on, go both of them.
So do we have to bid that stuff for one, or does it take a full time?
Well, that's why I'm here asking y'all. I'm gonna let y'all make that decision on that. And we're short on trucks. We got 2 pickups in the yard. They're GMCs. One has 68,000, and the other one has 80,000. That's the 2 newest trucks we got. We got pickups with 200+ thousand. We got 5 of them with 200+ thousand miles on them. And those trucks, if James was here, he could tell y'all, those trucks were governmental trucks. They were given to Karnes County when we were struggling. And those trucks, we're still running them.
I make the motion to approve the
Oh,
purchase.
wait a second, though, I gotta ask you something, Tracy, before we do this. What are we making the motion to approve? You're approving, I mean, he doesn't need our approval to go look. He needs approval to amend if he amends, and it would have to be an emergency to amend. But the purchase of a new truck, we can't approve it, because we don't know what we're approving. We can't just say
Well,
that
he has to
we're,
go out and get a price.
yeah, I mean, you
Sure,
would have to
that
go.
would be-
That's why I'm here.
Now, this
We
is
need
the-
to approve to put it out for bids?
No, we don't need to approve it.
No, he
It
can
doesn't
go,
go-
he can go through the state court and get prices on it, but what he needs to do is come back with the details, the prices, and then the court would have to
Right.
take action to amend the budget to allow.
I'm asking for me to go and look right now. That's what I'm asking for.
I mean, that's not an action item, though, I don't think. Am I incorrect there? Bob, is that an action item? I don't think it's an action item.
No, it's not an action item.
The court doesn't have to authorize him to go out and look. It would just be you come back with all the information and the court would
I
authorize
understand
it.
that, but I didn't want to do this for nothing. I want to ask to make sure that we can go forward with it.
Do we even want you to go look?
Exactly.
The only thing I would ask is just consider a 2-ton, like a little international, what were
Oh,
those
definitely,
things?
yeah.
Remember, all these amendments we make have to be emergency amendments, and we've done a lot of amendments. And just so everybody's keeping track of that.
Because it doesn't take a lot to overload a 1-ton, and you can get overweight tickets on a 1-ton.
Well, we got, you know,
Well,
well,
I've watched, probably got.
So you're gonna have a meeting Friday or Monday, right, anyways, Barbara?
If we get that
Everything.
stuff from Lorraine
So
Daly,
he
yeah.
shoves it in there, could you put that on there too, Jeffrey?
We can put any time that y'all can get it in here, we can get it in here today.
So today by what time would, in order for it to be Friday meeting?
It's gotta be, well, if I'm with the Associated Press and coming back here till 3, there's not gonna be a meeting till Monday anyway. So I won't get it typed fast enough, I'm by myself. Type it on my iPhone and send it out. Not gonna happen.
Okay.
So,
Anyway, with all this deal, I wanted to ask first before I go on. I got plenty of other things to do. But
No action on that.
okay, no action. Number 18 is to discuss, approve, disapprove, changing employee Homer Rios' status from part-time to full-time in the Road and Bridge Department. Also due to the road congestion in Karnes County, it is imperative to hire additional full-time employees to repair and maintain county roads. It's Jeff again. Luana, does he have the money in his budget for full-time employees?
He has one position currently open for a full-time employee.
Yeah, I just found that out. I thought it was 14, but I was corrected yesterday. It's 15.
Well, he doesn't need our permission. That doesn't need to be an action item. That's another no action item.
My only question is, can you hire him, he's a retired employee, can you hire him?
Yes,
back
sir.
as full-time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he did
They have
offer.
to be off the retire, our payroll for 1 calendar month before we can hire them back and retire, for retirement purposes. Yes, sir, we can. And he's
That's
been
not,
on.
that's another item that's not an action item. That's the,
Right.
Number 9.
And I just wanted to-
Number 19 is to discuss, approve, disapprove replacing bridge on County Road 277.
Okay, this is, I know you heard about the bridge. I know Jenny's got an earful from some people down there already. This bridge is 16 foot wide, and it's not quite 20 foot long. And the oil companies, nobody's gonna take responsibility for it. We tried, I worked with them, that we didn't get anywhere. To replace the lumber on this bridge, that's not gonna last, because the first truck that's gonna go over it and gets off the middle of the bridge, they're gonna break the lumber anyway. Prices on corrugated pipe, which is the 8 foot, you can drive a pickup almost through it. Those pipes run about right at $4,000 a pipe, 30 foot long. Put them in with the stabilized concrete base. I think we can do the job. I kind of got some figures on and bring them with me. Well, I got figures, and I believe this would be best to go because it's a school bus route. It's a narrow bridge. I'd like to widen out because that traffic is real bad there. I believe putting the pipes in would be our best bet. Destroy the bridge because it's something got the foundation that's cracked underneath it, and I think we're just waiting for a disaster to happen there.
Well, but I mean, you actually don't need our approval to replace it as long as you have the money in your budget for what you're doing.
I don't know how close we're getting on that, but it's sure.
You have a line item for bridge repairs that has $80,000 set in it.
So that would be, you
You ought to
wouldn't,
have plenty.
you wouldn't need action from the court for that. That's another no action item.
Well, that's what I brought up, asking if y'all want to repair the wooden bridge or take it out and let's fix it for.
That would be your call, Jeff.
Okay.
That didn't require action from the
I know
court.
you asked before to bring it to court and ask, and that's the reason I'm doing it.
How many 8-foot pipes you plan to put in?
Two 8-foot pipes. And it should carry the same amount of water that we have on that tank. The height and span and everything. Yes, sir. Yeah. The concrete float,
Then you gonna put dirt over the top?
stabilized concrete base.
It's gotta meet the specification for the transportation code, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You gotta meet
And
the
that'll
specifications
support
of the
the weight.
transportation code.
That'll support the weight that's
Oh, yeah,
needed to be
yeah.
supported.
You put a foot and a half of stabilized base material on it, it'll take 60,000 to 80,000 per axle, no problem. It'll be a lot safer than what we have there now.
Go for it.
As long as it meets specifications by statute, that's all that matters.
Hopefully.
Number 20 is open, discuss, accept, reject bids for 2 belly dump trailers for road and bridge. Luana, did you win any bids?
Did I win any?
Did you win any? Thank you. The first one's gonna be from Truck Enterprises Incorporated. They make sure it was filled.
How many are going to end up good?
2.
That's it?
Just those
El
2.
Paso, Texas.
Is this off a buy board or something?
No.
Can't get trailers on my board. Nobody has them. We checked into it,
It says, to whom it may concern, please accept the attached as our sealed bid for 2 each. 2013 CPS LVD 40 belly dump trailers, see attached for specifications. The bid price is $34,060.57 each for a total bid of $68,121.14. The factory comes out of Warren, Missouri. You can look at these to see the specs. See how it's spec'd out?
What's CPS there for?
City Public Service.
Mine are a little choppy. It
It
just depends on who you're talking to.
Where they made?
Okay, they're come out of where? Out of Missouri?
Yes, sir.
Pick them up in Missouri?
No, El Paso.
El Paso.
Does the bid meet the specs, Judge?
I don't know what the specs are. I don't remember. The request for bids says Karnes County Road and Bridge Department requests bids for two 2012 or 2013 belly dump trailers with the following specifications: 40-foot length, 502 in width, spring suspension, 11R.24.5 tires, all steel wheels, fixed tandem axle, steel composition, flip chart front to back, 23 to 24 yards capacity. Sealed bid marked belly dump trailer should be submitted to the county auditor, 2000 East Calvert, Karnes City, Texas, 78118 by 4 p.m. Friday, June 8, 2012. Bids will be open and awarded during Commissioners Court Tuesday, June 12, 2012 at 115 North Market Street, Karnes City, Texas, 78118. And the county reserves the right to accept, reject all or any bids.
Jeffrey, do we have to go get it and they bring it to us?
I have to go pick them up because what they have to do, they have to wire those trailers to the trucks.
You have to go to El Paso or wherever?
Whoever gets the bid, I hope it's not El Paso.
Okay, the other one is Alamo City Trailer Sales out of Schertz, Texas. And obviously a lot of them believe in these CPS standard weight bottom dumps because we have another one, 2013 CPS standard weight bottom dump, 11R 24.5 tires, electric flip chart, white in color, still 4-spring suspension, tandem axle, radial tiles, American made, $66,294. They did not break theirs down with specifications like the other one did. They have a person on here that can be contacted, I guess, to break down this. I think they used Luana's wording and put it on their bid. $66,294.
It's the same trailer though, right?
Yeah.
66 each?
No, 33 each, but then 66 total.
Okay.
Oh,
Sure.
You making a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, make
I
it.
second it.
You make a motion that we go with Schertz Trucking or the one at Alamo City Trailer Sales?
Both bids meet the specs.
Yes,
Alamo City Trailer Sales was your motion?
No, it's gotta be some waving.
You second it, Carl?
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition. Motion carries 4-0. Number 23. Wait a second. I didn't do 21. Number 21, discuss, approve, disapprove, and order prohibiting certain fireworks in the unincorporated areas of Karnes County, Texas. What this is every year we do this. We do it at the 4th of July and Christmas. And tomorrow's our deadline to be able to have our fireworks, what we plan on doing. And I called Charlie Mollett, because I mean, he's always our go-to guy when it comes to stuff like this. He says it's dry, and we looked at the KB Keacham-Byron Drought Index that we always look at every year that shows our medium and our maximum. And we're right, we're average. We're not, we're not dry, we need rain. And so, I asked him what he thought about fireworks, because we always have 3 options, and that's do everything, or ban the missiles and fins, or ban everything. That's usually our 3 options. We don't have a burn ban, we don't have anything going on like that. Charlie, when I talked to him, his suggestion was that it was dry enough to ban the missiles with fins. Let everything else go, but the things that shoot fire, that can be shot out and catch somebody's field or house on fire in the middle of the night, and the fire department have a hard time getting to them, is that we ban the missiles and fins. And I made 2 copies. We all have it in there. It's in y'all's package. If y'all like to look at that, it says, this does not prohibit common fireworks small in size, classified as Class C explosives, nor does it prohibit large firework devices designed primarily to produce visible or audible effects by combustion, deflagration, detonation, and classified as Class B explosives by the U.S. Department of Transportation. We're just looking at no person may sell, detonate, ignite, or in any way use fireworks classified under 49 Code of Federal Regulations as skyrockets with sticks and missiles with fins. We just don't want shooting fire. My suggestion was we did not want shooting fire in the air. We just wanted to protect kind of everybody with the dryness.
Does that get Roman candles?
Yes, sir?
Does it get Roman candles?
No, no, sir. You can have pretties. You can have pretties.
Candles will shoot a ball of fire.
Well, then you need to look it up under the explosive chart. The numbers are
But
here.
it's under control.
Yeah, the rockets
Most of them
missiles
burn
and
out
fins.
before they hit the ground.
But those that don't burn out hit the ground and get burned.
And this would not affect any pyrotechnic displays. If anybody wanted to do Runge or Kennedy City Park or anybody was doing, this does not affect anything like that. So we don't need any exemptions, we don't need anything. Just flying fire was the concern. Need one.
Make a motion to approve an order prohibiting certain fireworks in the unincorporated areas of Karnes County.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition, motion carries 4-0. Okay, number 23, discuss, approve, disapprove amending the budget of the county attorney for additional secretary salary, and that's Bob and Betty. That doesn't make sense when I say Bob and Betty.
What this is, we have a little problem. Our telephone system, my secretary answers our telephone. The judge's secretary cannot answer our telephone. Whenever Sylvia has to go to the commissioners, to the annex, then there's nobody here answering our phone. A lot of times, if I'm here, I answer the phone, of course. But a lot of times I do things in JP court, stuff like that, and I'm not here. So we've arranged with Esmeralda for about 10 hours a week to answer the phone and help out on things that a lot of times, like yesterday, Sylvia was ill. We had no secretary to talk, and that makes it very difficult to operate. So, and I have enough money in my budget, but I need to transfer some things around so that I have a little bit more money from other places. And then I'm still needing about $600. And it's really, my phone needs to be answered. And we try to do that, but I'd like to have someone who can answer the phone. And Neva has amended the job description for Esmeralda so she can do that. Then we can answer the phone, we can answer their phones, and they can answer our phones. This is, in this office, it should be somebody else could answer the phone also, because it just makes good sense. I need to transfer a little bit of money out of services to my account.
It's a line item amendment, Bob?
Yes, a line item amendment. Let me,
God
would
bless
like,
you.
I'm sorry?
Bless you.
I would like to transfer out of part-time secretary. We have a little bit extra money in there, and I'd like to transfer $300 out of that.
Luana's shaking her head.
You are not going to have extra money in there unless Dorothy quit. Because right now, you only have 179 hours left in there for the rest of the budget year.
Oh, wait a minute, back up. Office expense, $300 out of it. Warrant officer, that's Tito, and I'd like to take $300 out of that. Now, mileage for the county attorney, I never collected mileage anyway, so we could take $500 out of that. And
Bob, if
conference
you need
expense-
600, you're up to 1,100 right now.
No, I need 1984.93.
Okay, so you need 19, excuse
So
me, I
I'm trying to
misunderstood,
just
I'm
push
sorry.
So I'm short $600 after I do all this.
We don't pay you mileage, Bob?
Yeah, but I never.
He don't go
He
nowhere.
don't go nowhere.
Well, I've been to San Antonio a number of times, I just don't charge mileage. My car doesn't need any mileage.
Well, you don't go anywhere, you don't need any mileage.
I go, but I don't charge. Never have charge.
The total amount that you're needing is 1,900 and what?
1984.93. And I'm taking, I'm asking to be taking $300 out of office expense, $300 out of the warrant officer's account because we just use him to serve warrants. We don't have that many. And then the mileage, county attorney, I take $300 out of that because I've never been reimbursed for mileage. Go to the rest.
A while ago you said 500. Is it 500 that you want out of mileage or 300 out of mileage?
Right, make it the 500. Okay. And then, conference expense, again, when I go to a conference, I don't have to go anymore. I've grown that. So I'd like to have $300 out of that account. And then the rest will be $600, which I'm asking for an additional $600 to add it to my, and if there's any left, we can use it for.
Bob, don't say it.
Okay, pardon.
Is there going to be any remaining monies in the assistant county attorney line item since there was a
I don't know.
Downtime between Lee and Betty?
Because I know I've got to have surgery September, and I don't know how long I'll be out. It's very close to the brain.
Is it cosmetic?
It's a personal version.
They're operating on your foot, you said it's very close to your brain.
Okay, but Bob, your assistant county attorney salary goes, if you say you need till September, in October you can get new stuff if you need it. It doesn't, never mind, you just go on with your party there.
That's what I'm asking for.
Okay, so you wanna move all these line items around.
I just move them into, so I can use them for the secretary who will be answering the phone from the juvenile department.
Okay, what he's asking for as far as moving from line item amendments does not total what he needs for the additional 10 hours per week for the remainder of the budget year, plus Social Security and Medicare and retirement. But he's also going to have the issue of being under budgeted for your part-time secretary for Dorothy's salary for the remainder of the year.
I have some money in my account.
Okay, so you're going to use that as you have done in the past?
Yes.
To cover that, and you'll reimburse the county for any overages there.
You got it.
So then what he's looking at is approximately, $600 that he needs to amend to add to his budget to finish out with this additional part-time help. So the court needs to decide if it's an emergency amendment or in the best needs, unforeseen circumstances.
Well,
blah.
actually, if we can get to December 21st, because that's the end of the world.
Well,
Bob, let's just stay with
that's
the
next
amendment.
budget.
Let's stay
We're
with,
doing
let's
it
not,
this year.
let's not think ahead of the box here. Let's stay with today.
Bob, we couldn't have those calls forwarded to your cell phone?
Yeah.
That'd save a lot of money.
Yeah.
They wouldn't need a secretary. Just have to call forward and just put you in and leave.
Well, whatever you think, Bob.
So where are we at, Luana? In the real world?
There needs he needs an additional $600 added to his budget, which the court would have to decide whether it's an emergency amendment to qualify to do that.
Phone needs to be answered.
Is that emergency?
It's an emergency. I don't know, we get a lot of complaints because no one answers the phone. I hear them.
Well, and they have to work for us to answer sometimes.
Yeah,
We get messages we don't know.
They're down again, but it is a problem. And if the judge's secretary could answer my phone, that's okay, but if the judge answered it and it's something from one of the defendants, that's a no-no. So the only way we can figure this out, and Neva has been gracious enough to do that. And I want the others to be moved around. Which we gotta have,
Come on, Pete. You don't make the motion, Pete, so come on, Pete.
I'll make a motion to amend the budget to allow the county attorney $600 additional for secretary salary so the phone may be answered.
I also can move the other stuff around. And whatever stuff I could use for my retirement party.
No.
We're taking that
Sorry, you can't use tax dollars for that.
Okay, we had a motion and a second, correct?
Oh, Pete, I think. Yeah, first and second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposition? No opposition, motion carries 4-0.
Appreciate it very much. Welcome, Bob.
Okay, number 24 is the tax collector's report. Ms. Frankie's not here. I'm not going to read it to you. It's in here. You have a copy. It says Karnes County on the top. Some say N, some say B, some say nothing. It surely does. That is for your eyes only. All right, number 25. Bob's got a real copy out there somewhere. Is to discuss, examine, approve, disapprove the treasurer's report.
I put that on Sylvia's desk yesterday. Did y'all get them?
I did. They're in the
Okay.
package. I didn't see the original. Did you put the original in there? I mean, there was 5 there. What did I do? One usually has a.
One has the signature. There should have been.
They all had it.
But there should be one that has my signature on it already.
I didn't see one with your signature.
Oh,
on
that
it.
didn't matter. I can sign one. Were you going to explain the difference on the newsletter?
I wouldn't because the total's still the same.
Okay.
I just leave it alone.
I'm gonna be honest. I know you left it there yesterday. I didn't look at it. I was playing.
There's
my
nothing
phone.
unusual in there. Everything's good.
Everything was good. And did y'all have correct? Did y'all meet?
Yes.
Did you wanna meet,
Yes.
get matched? All right. As long as y'all all kind of looked at each other, I'm gonna trust y'all on that one this time. I make the motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented. Hold on, I just need signatures. Let me sign this one so I don't. There's too much stuff up here. We kind of get lost in the
Did we have
shuffle.
a second and a vote? Barbara, you didn't have a second and a vote before you signed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right here, second of vote.
You gotta say it loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you gonna take a vote?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition. Motion carries 4-0. We are just moving right along here.
Gotta come back
Back to number 9.
Remember, don't make a motion to adjourn. You gotta make a motion to recess.
What happens if we make it?
You gotta call it a meeting.
Tracy says, you know it's Tuesday. Carl, what happened to your
But
glasses?
remember, there's a method to the madness.
It's when I stick it up in the air.
That third eye.
Make a student. I got stuff to cook and then I gotta be in a meeting over here.
What time will you be ready?
Well, if I get started, we get you ready by 6. If I'm over here, it's not gonna get cooked too
You're
early.
gonna have to help me. All right, number 26 is payment of bills. Did we have, that one that Louis Fisher had anybody submitted anything early on that change order?
It was not received in time
So
to be in
it's
the
not
site, the little
received.
detail.
Because I don't have the original signed yet is the reason I'm asking. And I would like to get those originals signed into you, so it doesn't look like we're paying stuff this signing, because that doesn't look right, so.
It will not be in
Good.
the cycle
Good,
until the
good, good.
29th.
And again, I know you gave these to me yesterday, and I usually look at them, but I was on the phone with AT&T, Avaya, AT&T, Avaya, Avaya, AT&T, and back and forth that way.
On page 1, about 2/3 of the way down, is a payment for $15,750. That is for our independent audit fees, which was presented last month.
Dieter Casper and Young's fees.
Yes. Thompson, Williams, Peterborough, Casper, and Young.
I'm sorry, I left out a few partners. There's no unbudgeted, unforeseen, anything I need to know about?
Put them through, but I think everything else is normal, relatively.
No conversions, no mistakes, no.
Total of this bill cycle is $127,107.61.
You answered my, there's no conversions, no, nothing we need to know. I make a motion, we pay bills as presented.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, any opposition, excuse me? Motion carries 4-0. Can you sign this and hand it to Carol? Surely. Reports of fees, fines, and money collected by the following departments. County clerk, I saw Carol. Carol has, the total for her month is $75,296.86. Is that right, Carol, for May?
That's right.
Okay.
We collected more than that, but once everything is dispersed, then it's 75.
Okay. And your grand total is a little over 94, and your total is a little over 75.
You did good.
All right. District clerk? No. Going once, going twice, sold on the district clerk, no report. County attorney, Bob, left his up here, Bob. You got it? You can read it.
Well, during the month of March, we collected $2,174.15 for restitution, for a total of year-to-date total $11,633.42. April, we collected $3,871.45 for year-to-date total $15,503.88. For May, we collected $1,203 for year-to-date total $16,706.88. Food cost, and this is what the restitution goes back to the merchants. Food cost for the month of March, we collected $415.95 for year-to-date total $3,424.18. April, we collected $786 for food cost and 43 cents, for a year-to-date total of $4,210.61. In May, we collected $759.31. We got for a total for $4,969.92. Year-to-date for the whole thing is $21,676.80. Last year, we collected in the same period of time $24,589.43. I guess that's a reflection of the economy.
Thanks, Bob. The next one is going to be Justice of the Peace. I have received nothing for any of them. Has anybody else received anything? Okay. Special projects. Sharon left the.
For the month of May 2012, we received 42 determination development permit applications for a total of $1,050. For the month of May, we received 11 on-site sewage facility applications for a total of permit cost $4,750. Inspector's portion of it is $1,800. TCQ's portion is $110. County portion is $2,865.
Thank you, Sharon. Neva left us the juvenile report. And it shows that the amount of fees collected for the month were $125. If you'll look, there's 22 cases. It tells you how many are on formal probation and whatnot. please remember with a lot of these juveniles that the fees that they pay, a lot of the fees that they pay are their court costs and whatnot, but they don't have the funds or the means, or the family does not have the funds or the means to pay. We try to give anything back that goes back, usually goes towards restitution. Is that correct, Bob? We try to give people back what they owe versus it just sometimes they can't swing that payment, and there's no use. We gotta get the money back to the merchants, so a lot of it goes to that. So if that looks like small numbers, we have lots of kids, and I know you don't always hear them in juvenile hearings, but we have a lot of hearings and not a lot of money from that department.
Not a lot of collective to do with the kids that have anything. Parents are supposed to pay it, but pretty much same for that.
There we are with that. But first and foremost, we try to get the money back to where it needs to go. That's going to end our reports from that. Now we're going to go to Road and Bridge. Jeff?
First of all, I'm going to give you a look.
You look like wildlife.
Parks and Wildlife.
We need to rent that to them for a pretty good price. We need a 30 by 30 foot.
Well, you know, it says Texas on the top, and I've heard the state might be in a little bit of a bind, so.
That's what I was going to say. I got
I
that.
like- hey, hey, you like you, you know.
Thank you, Jeff.
I want to give y'all another kind of update because we bought some signs here and we're going to be paying for them. We got a new update from the state on what type of signs we're going to have to start using on our county roads. And that's going to it's going to start getting pretty pricey for signs. We bought some signs that we've been overrun with having to buy signs lately. We can buy dozens of stop signs and pipes and put them in the ground, and within weeks they're gone again. And we've been fighting that deal. But I got this back from the state to me, and this is the signs that are going to be required for us to start using. If you read through the whole deal, they show you it's going to be mandatory for everybody to start using these signs and what they are. It's a glitter sign with lights hit it that's going to light up. You see it better than the old style signs. And what it is, there was some lawsuits, the gentleman told me in the state, where the signs were dull, and the county's loaned up, and the state loaned up in some lawsuits where people did not see the signs. And that's the reason I'm kind of bringing that up to y'all. Y'all going to see the amount that we're spending on signs. They're a little higher, they ain't that much higher, but it costs.
We need to give permission to put this draw station up.
That's not on the agenda.
No, it's just something that it's an update from the state, what we're going to be required to do down the line. It's just like you slope it ends on your corrugated pipes and all the bridges, not putting in there, put slopes and all that on there. That's all mandatory by the state. So we're just going by compliance.
So I asked about the station,
RAW.
RAW station.
The weight station.
Did you give permission
What? I missed
for
something?
the raw station, the weather station?
No, that's going to be it. So we have it leased out, the property right now.
Or do you have some reserve?
The office, right?
Yeah, the building and office there. You can look by to come in there and put some in, but this is something I would like to, the gentleman's going to be coming and talking to Judge Shaw about it, and the county attorney. I said to meet with y'all, and that's a decision I don't think that needs to come from me. It's county property, so that needs to be decided by Commissioner's Court what we're going to do with the weather station.
Will this be able to make weather?
Hope they can make it rain. That'd be nice. The weight station, we completed our part on it. It looks good. hope she stays there. That took quite a bit of material in there. We saved all the billings on that. We kind of kept all the, what it cost, but I forgot to bring the cost on that, just for the material and all the truck labor that we put into it and the time. But, I think Pete put a little approval on it. I think it turned out pretty good. We got signs on it to keep the trucks and everything off of there, still on there by the way.
Yeah.
Sir? I don't know how far, where they're at now. I think they're waiting on the 911 address to get the power in there or something, for the skill.
That was issued to Kirby, before we even started the development.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Waiting
text
for,
us.
waiting
She
for
sent it to me.
the state man to get us approval of it. And then we'll have to set up the account. The state man has to get us.
I gave you the last email.
Building should be delivered tomorrow. Barricades next day.
You move along with that too. Okay. I think that's it. Unless y'all got something else.
Okay, Luana, you're next. Numbers are raised on your papers.
Special.
Is that how we tell them apart? I just felt it. It was like reading. Yeah.
Not spending money. The receipts and disbursements is the same that's already been presented by the treasurer. You'll also have the debt requirements that satisfy local government code 114.025 section 4. And then the last page is items of interest for the local government code 114.025 section 5. Total county funds available as of May 31st, 2012, $12,112,273.55. Total county funds invested as of May 31st, 2012, $11,099,790.89. Non-investment funds as of May 31st, $1,012,482.66. Included in those non-invested funds is $550,379.13 for the sales tax. All funds, available funds were reinvested yesterday.
Fine, can I ask you a question? When you do that, and like we have the money on 514, can you invest that when you invest the rest or no? Or is there a reason that we hold some back?
Because it's me and Julie in my office, and I have other job responsibilities besides constantly investing. I'm not the only person, I am the only person that does the investing on there. So I can't consistently do that every day, or that's the only thing I can do.
Anybody else have any questions? Carl, you're next. Pete?
Well, on Annex, they replaced the roading. They could not get in the break room, they couldn't get the moisture below 90%. Well, we're gonna put a sealer on it, replace it, and bulk up in its spots. So that's on the board. Anyone else notice him? Carol, you know,
the record?
Yeah, there's a couple of soft spots. As far as the paperwork, Vogel says Kruger hadn't sent me all the, what do they call it, guaranteed operating and maintenance reports. Kruger says, we're working on it, so we're still going to stand on it. It's not gone, haven't signed on.
Hey, I have a question about the windows. What did they do to, with the leaks?
They came and tested, they adjusted them all, and they raised and lowered and shimmed whatever they could, and they tested them with water, and they said that they all passed.
I'll know the next round. I just wondered if they were through because all the screens are still off, and is that something we want to put back on now, or are we waiting on something, do you know?
I don't know, did they take the screens off and leave them off? Or maybe they have something that they haven't finished. Maybe there's something they're going to come back to.
How do they test the leak? With a water hose?
Yeah, when they worked on it, and then they tested the water hose, squirted water on it to see if any water got inside.
The sprinkler work, yeah.
They did check them all the way around the building. They told me, just most of those on there, those with the roof over weren't leaking, but they found some around there that were, that had leaking water.
Oh, they tested the ones that were leaking and the ones that weren't
They
leaking?
tested all of those.
And the ceiling in my area?
And the roof, say they came back and checked. I don't know what that is. I think it's a roof leak. And when the roof leaks, it gets in there and you got 5/8" chipboard up there, like waterproof sheetrock type stuff. And you got 2 inches of styrofoam, and when the roof leaks, it gets through that and it spreads out, and that's when you get a large area in there. The sheriff's room is just a small amount and it spreads about 2 feet across it. I think there are roof leaks. Water just gets through, it don't show up the day it rains, it shows up after it rains, is that correct?
Several days later.
Yeah, right on top of my computer. I mean, about the one on my computer coming right down.
Are they going to keep testing for something, or, I mean, what do we need to plan for? Because my leak is right over all my files.
That's what I'm worried about.
All Ken Myers again, and see.
Is it another deal, Pete, that we have to wait till it rains again so y'all can see again? I mean, I know,
No,
I
I know.
keep asking you.
I know. I mean, I don't know what else to do because it seems like it was happening after a rain. It would be several days later, and then that's when we noticed the drips.
I didn't record the day it rained, the day it leaked. But apparently it's water from the top getting in and the moisture from the roof.
We just need you guys to help watch that and let it keep down.
Like I said, that's on that's on her side of the building, because it's like one roof line, and I got mine on my side, and mine's against, like, over back of the courthouse. It's on that corner right there, right
So,
where my
so it's
desk.
like the whole east side then of our building, right? Because it's your,
It'd be the
it's
whole
on our
east side.
side.
It's a whole east side, because that's where it's leaking. It's not leaking anywhere else in the office, it's just right on top of my computer, right there. And like you said, it's like, it rained, and I didn't think nothing of it, and all of a sudden one day I went in on the paper, kind of wet, and I'm thinking somebody's sitting at my desk, set a coat down there or something, condensation. Then after a while, I looked up.
You can see the
Yeah,
droplets.
the water's coming out of the ceiling, so. I don't know if it's coming in from, I don't know where it's coming from, except right above my desk.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we're not developing any new spots in that building. We just have 2 leaks, just you 2. I know, right.
But see, it did that before we moved in, remember? And we asked them about it, and then they said it was condensation from the air conditioning or something. And then
Pete, does a rain hit like the side of the building, hit that brick and then jump up underneath the?
Well, I don't know, because I know, we thought that was a possibility. They said they were gonna check it out. Large area of Carroll's office.
possible. There's no attic space or anything at the corner.
Okay, is that it, Pete?
That's it.
And then James and Tracy?
Oh, reports on the permits, total of the month of May, we've taken in $41,480. That's all permits for the road entrances and water lines.
All right, guys, then I guess we'll agree and we'll see you back here then.
That's your motion.
We actually done what we can.
I'll make a motion that we recess till 3 o'clock.
All in favor, say aye. Hey, Bob. Yeah, they don't. Exactly. Things